Hey YouTube, this is Green-Valor, and I'm going to talk about this article, or a few articles, about the vegan climber trying to climb Mount Everest to promote veganism. I'll talk about the Independent article. The Independent is a news publication that posts articles that primarily, they're pretty biased. They, in the past, I've seen quite a few articles promoting feminism, veganism, just a whole bunch of hipster crap. And I usually don't frequent it, but I noticed one on the National Post. This one just sort of lays out facts. We're trying to prove vegans can do anything. Among 3 dead, 30 sick on Mount Everest. Just cuts right to the point. So I'm assuming all these people were vegans, and they're making that trek up there. I haven't read too much into the article. Let me just see here. We're in Nepal. Yeah, it's going on about, 250 people died over the years trying to climb Mount Everest. So it doesn't matter whether you're vegan or not. It's quite the trek, and you should be prepared. Well, adhering to a strict vegan diet was her own personal effort. So they already quote her by stating, you know, she considered it a personal endeavor to do it while on a strict vegan diet, which means she's trying to promote veganism instead of really focusing on just climbing the fucking thing. Yeah, I wanted to prove that veganism is not a handicap. It's very obvious in this article that it was thinking that way. In The Independent, it tries to put more of the focus on her and say, yeah, it wasn't about veganism, but it was. It's very apparent. Every other article, unbiased, talk about that. Central scrambled eggs. So, she and her husband, Robert Gropel, so they work at a veterinary hospital, which is probably why she's a vegan, or a contributing factor. So she's extremely vegan. No scrambled eggs, nothing. No protein comes from anything. I assume she doesn't drink milk. They consider that raping animals, I think, or some crap like that. Some believe they didn't receive enough iron and protein in their diet for such strenuous physical activity. Here's the thing about vegan diets. It's very difficult to get the adequate amount of protein in that diet. You have to be really on point. That's basically how it is. Back in high school, I had a pretty close to vegetarian diet. I was very overweight and wanted to drop weight quickly. And the thing about vegetables is that they have very few calories. They're mostly water, like celery, carrots, and they contain a lot of micronutrients. So if you're just looking to drop weight, very easy to do that on a vegan diet, I'd say. Protein, you're not so concerned about protein. You can do maintenance with it on a vegan diet, primarily because it's just easy. You're not trying to build muscle, you're just trying to drop weight. If you're trying to drop weight, it doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you're just calories in and calories out. That's all it is. But when you're looking to, like be a marathon runner or a climber or a cyclist, you need you need adequate protein. You need a shitload of it, and you need to structure a diet in a way that you'll get all your macronutrients in, your micronutrients in. The easiest way to do that is to have lean meats for your proteins and carbs, primarily vegetables, or if you're trying to fatten up a bit more, maybe some pastas and some grains. But primarily, you can rely on vegetables and just some meats if you really want to. But it's very difficult to get in that peak condition with just vegetables. It really is. I'm talking about functional strength and endurance. I'm not talking about like looking good either. Genetics has a large part to do with that. It's very rare for me to see someone on a strict vegan diet that's jacked. I haven't actually had met one in person. I've met very skinny people and many fat people that adhere to a strict vegan diet. Uh, do I think that their vegan diet contributed to the death or deaths? There's 3, I believe. I gotta look back at the article in a second. Yeah, 3 dead, 30 sick. I believe veganism played a large part in that. We've played a part in that, but you know, I assume she prepared heavily beforehand. I believe they all did. I believe they would have had a better chance if they had more meat in their diet. I believe it would have been easier for them to meet those nutrient requirements. When you climb Mount Everest, you can only pack so much crap with you. And if they're just eating vegetarian stuff, vegan stuff, I should say, because vegetarians can still, I believe they can still eat. And they can drink milk and eat eggs. And eggs have, especially egg whites, shitload of protein. It's very easy for, like, vegetarian diets, different than a vegan diet. Vegetarians are pretty flexible. They can eat egg whites and drink milk. Your calcium, milk has a ton of macronutrients, and egg whites, you could just eat those all fucking day and get all your proteins in. No problem. Stick to a great diet. No, easily. But vegan diets, different story. Very strict. Very difficult to meet that requirement. And I do believe it had some part to play. But I don't believe it would have been so serious or so blown out this way if she didn't specify that she did it to promote her veganism. Now, there's one part of this article I'm going to look at here. Last year was the first to pass without a climber reaching the summit due to a pair of, so there were some natural disasters that impaired climbers from getting to the top last year. I believe they were asked by the Sherpa they were with, just, stop going. It's a little dangerous to go forward, and they just kept going anyways. Stubborn vegans. But, yeah. I honestly believe it's just a matter of ill preparedness. I believe it would have been easier if they weren't on the vegan diet, but who knows what really ended up killing them. They don't really go into detail. Seems, quoting, it seems that people have this warped idea of vegans being malnourished and weak. I'm just going to say this from anecdotal experience. I've yet to meet a vegan who's muscular, who doesn't have, well, in my life, I just haven't met one. I haven't seen one on tabloids or on YouTube or whatever who either doesn't have great genetics for building muscle or isn't on fucking junk. Okay, they're on some enhancements. There's certain steroids that'll, let's put it this way. So how steroids work allow you to recover quicker, which means you get to go to the gym quicker. If you're burning calories in the gym, you're increasing your metabolism again and again every time you go to the gym, the more frequently you go, which means it doesn't matter how often you eat. Even if you're a vegan, you just keep eating and eating, you're gonna burn it all off, all the fat. Anyways, so if you're on junk, it doesn't matter what diet you have as long as you're meeting your macros. In all seriousness, it really doesn't matter. There aren't that many vegan foods that contain the adequate amount of protein you need to effectively build muscle at a proper rate for a natural person. Now, you can eat nuts all fucking day if you're on stuff, because you're going to be going to the gym, you're going to burn it all off anyways, and your body's going to build muscle, and your metabolism is going to spike 3 to 4 times a day, because you're working out so often, because you can work out so often, because you're on shit. I have a problem with people promoting veganism in this manner because it's a danger to people out there. If that's the way you want to live, fine. But don't tell me the way I live is wrong, because you're discovering now that plants have some sort of sentient thought process, and just because they don't interact or they don't look cuddly or whatever, or they don't look cute, doesn't mean they don't have some sort of activity, some sort of consciousness. It'll eventually reach the point where plants may actually act the same way animals do. We're obviously not there yet. They're just not evolved. They're plants. They're much different than animals. But we have this weird thing in society where if an animal's cute, we don't fucking eat it. If if it's not cute, we'll fucking slaughter it and eat it because it's tasty. And that's just the way it is. And that's how we live. Does a bear discriminate? No. It'll eat you. It doesn't care. You can't teach a lion or a bear to eat plants. It can't. It's not within its diet. We're omnivorous. We have to eat plants and meat. If we were not meant to consume meat, we would puke it back up. There are foods we can't eat that other animals can eat. We'll just puke it back up. Just the way things are. Cows can eat grass. We can't really digest grass at all that well. They can survive on that almost purely, and we can't. It's just the way things are. We're an apex predator. We can eat meat, we can eat plants, we can eat whatever we want to as long as we sustain life. Now, do I think the way we acquire meat and such is wrong? Yeah. I mean, factory farming, but there's so many fucking people in the world. If we didn't have factory farming, there's no way we could feed everyone. It's a problem with there's too many fucking people. And regardless of what anyone says, there's 7.2 billion people in the world. We don't need that many people. There's not that many lions or tigers or bears or deer. Well, maybe there's that many deer. I doubt it though. But still, that's a lot of fucking people. And for the people that go, well, we just switch it all over and eat grains and eat vegetables. Listen, motherfucker. You keep talking about the dangers of it on the environment. What do you think they do to farm out all that shit? They gotta have machines every step of the way. If we're not eating meat, they gotta create more farms for that stuff, which means more pollution anyways. Doesn't matter how we do it. Fact is, we have too many fucking people. And the most effective way to produce the amount of food we need is factory farming, and we don't have very I'll just say health conscious way of doing it. We even the breads and the vegetables we eat, they're processed. They got all those pesticides and crap in them. Majority of them, anyways, unless you're getting something really organic or you're growing it yourself. And even if you're growing it yourself, you're not gonna be able to grow it enough to supply yourself year round. So stop fucking lying to people. Anyone who says vegan diets are easy, they're fucking lying to you, because they're not. You have to be very strict with it. You have to really, if you've ever been on just a regular diet, working out, trying to drop weight, you know how difficult it is for that. Imagine that about times 5. That's how difficult it is just to stay on a vegan diet. Not even trying to cut weight or build muscle, just sticking on it. I've tried to structure one for myself. Impossible. There's no way I'd even consider doing that. It's like a few days worth of work just to try and get it right, and then you have to buy all that fucking food. More food. I would rather just buy a bunch of chicken breasts and cook them. So much easier. I get all the protein, one chicken breast. Eat that chicken breast, maybe cut it in half, eat that through the day, take a protein shake, some eggs. That's my whole day. It's so simple. And I get carbs, I get omega-3s, omega-6s from the eggs. And yeah, I eat the fucking yolk, because the yolk, and people are, oh, it's cholesterol. Fuck off. The omega-3s and omega-6s counteracts that. Just eat the whole fucking egg. Stop being a pussy. But that's my views on the vegan diet And do I think it was a contributing factor in the death in this article? These articles, yes, absolutely. I believe she would have had a better chance if they ate some meat. Would have been able to keep on some more weight. Their muscles would have been fueled a lot better. Another thing you have to understand: the closer you eat to actual muscle tissue, the better the protein is. So beef is probably the closest thing we have to actual muscle tissue, other than just eating other people. So if you're eating a really lean beef, you're like, and by lean beef I mean like very little fat. Like the fuckers like that thin. Those burgers that thin. Like really lean ground beef. You're gonna get a lot of protein out of it. You're gonna get good source of protein out of it. Whereas plants are very complex. In order to extract the protein out of it, takes takes probably a day or two just to get that protein out of it. You're gonna burn off so many calories trying to get the protein out of it. You have to you have to eat a lot more of it. And that's just the bottom line. You're gonna get fat because of it. So that's my views on the vegan diet. This video's gone for like 16 minutes. But it was a bit of a rant. I just want to talk about the article. I'm gonna link a couple articles in the description. I'm just gonna post the video. I'm not gonna edit anything in there. Anyways, that's my view on the matter. And I'm gonna get some sleep. So good night, everyone.